Hey everyone, welcome back to the latest GoSkills Excel Challenge solution. How close did you get to solving it? Well, we've got Microsoft trainer Deborah Ashby ready to share her solution. Check it out right now.
So the first part of this challenge is to calculate how many people that we've invited are actually attending the wedding. And we can see a list of all of the invitees in column B, and you can see there are quite a few of them. Now, the first challenge that we have here is that the invitees haven't been very consistent with their responses. So some people noted down yes if they were coming, some people put a Y, some people put an X, and then those who weren't attending, some people put no and other people put an N. So if we glance over at the green text box on the right hand side, we can see that if they put yes, Y or X, they are going to be attending. If they put no or N, they're not going to be attending. So that is the first thing that we need to do. We need to fish out of column C all of the people who responded yes, Y or X. Now, there are a few different ways that you can do this. One method that I quite like is to use the OR logical function. Now, if you've never used OR before, this basically allows us to type in different logical tests and it will produce a result of true or false. Now, if we use OR, we can ask it to check if the value in the cell is yes or Y or X. And if any of those are true, it's going to give us a true result. For anything else, we're going to get false. So our first logical test is if the value in cell C5 is equal to yes. Our second logical test is if the value in cell C5 is equal to Y. And our third logical test is if the value in cell C5 is equal to X. Close the bracket. So if any of those are true, the overall result is also going to be true. So let's hit enter. I'm going to double click to copy this down and we can do a quick visual check to make sure that this is working correctly. So we should have, wherever we have yes, Y or X, we should have a true result, which we do. And whenever we have no or N, we should have a false result, which we do. So this is all looking good so far. So now that I have this true or false information, I can use it to work out the number of invitees and output the result into cell E2. So all we're going to do here is a simple count if, and we're going to say count if this range is equal to true. So our criteria is true. Close the bracket, hit enter, and we should find we have our result. There it is, 47. Now, the next challenge in this exercise is that all of the people in column B who are highlighted in green, those people are bringing a guest. So next we need to calculate how many guests are going to be attending. And I asked you not to simply go through and count the number of green cells that we have. I wanted you to try and work this out using a formula. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you could do this. You could do a Control F and find all of the cells with this green background color, and you can see the count information in the find window. But a method that I really like is to use subtotal and filters. So if we go all the way down to the bottom of this list, Control down arrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in equals subtotal. I'm going to choose count A because I want to count all of the names in the column, and that is text. So we need count A. And then we just need to select our cell range. So I'm going to go from the top because I want to go from Sarah all the way down to Alberto. Let's close the bracket and hit enter. So currently subtotal is just counting everybody in the invitee list. But what I can now do is I can filter the list by the cell background color and the subtotal is going to update. So let's put some filters onto my column headings. And then we can click the drop down. We can go to filter by color and we can choose the green background fill. Now check out what happens here. I'm now only seeing those people who are bringing a guest and the count is 13. So I can simply come up to cell F2 and type in 13. I'm then going to clear this filter because with this filter applied, we're actually hiding rows that we need a bit later on. So let's clear the filter. So now that we have these two pieces of information, it's a simple addition calculation to work out the total number of attendees. We can do E2 plus F2, and I can see that we have 60 people attending. So now that we have our total number of attendees, we need to work out which venue is going to be most suitable. And we have some notes with regards to venue capacity. It says venue capacity should accommodate all attendees, including guests, but we want to leave a 20 guest leeway when calculating capacity. So I want to make sure that I add 20 onto the top to account for any additional guests that decide to turn up. Now at the bottom here we have a little table that shows all the different venues that we're considering and their total capacity. Now to calculate this, I'm going to use XLOOKUP. If you're using an older version of Excel where you don't have XLOOKUP, you could do this using VLOOKUP or index and match. So let's click in cell H2. We're going to say equals XLOOKUP. The lookup value is going to be the total number of attendees plus 20. That's the 20 guest leeway. We want to look up this result in this column just here, and we want to return the venue name. So let's select that column. Let's close the bracket, hit enter, and it's telling me that the electric ballroom is best going to accommodate our needs. And if I take a look at the table here, I can see that yes, electric ballroom comfortably holds 80 attendees. And because I have 60 total attendees and I've accounted for an extra 20, that is going to be perfect. So that's how we solved this challenge. Tell us what you think about our solution to this challenge by commenting below or joining the conversation on our Slack channel. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.
So there it is. Did you get the same results? Did you use the same approach? Or did you try something different? We'd like to know. Share your take on the challenge in the comments below or join us for more discussion in our Slack channel. Link in the description. Thanks for participating, and make sure to subscribe to this channel to get an alert when the next challenge is released. We'll see you then.